Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Poland Daily Travel. We're glad you could make it, and remember, watch us because we're watching you. In this series of episodes, we'll be going to the PRL Museum.
Waiting for a ride, feeling like a loner. No.
That's right, the museum of what Poland was like under the communist regime. It's a fascinating look at the past and back into a time that we don't have to live in anymore, thankfully. But nonetheless, a full range of communist kitsch is on display. There's a little cafe serving treats of the time, as well as coffee made in an ancient machine. Still tasty in its own way. There are plenty of artifacts of the time on display. There's even the reconstruction of a small flat of the time with all the kinds of machines, utensils, and clothing that you would have seen, not to mention furnishings and furniture. It's all a truly guilty pleasure. After the People's Republic of Poland Museum, we'll go to the shooting range at FSO, and my guest, Maria Kadzielska, will learn to shoot. She'll be shooting for the first time. This is the safest and most popular shooting range in Poland, where all the major competitions are held. And it's located in the old FSO factory. So stay tuned for thrills and spills on the next series of episodes in Poland Daily Travel. I'm Will Richardson. Thanks for watching. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another thrilling, and I mean thrilling, episode of Poland Daily Travel. We're in a very unusual place, and I'm accompanied by a very unusual man because his name is Jacek, is the curator of the PRL Museum. You may ask yourself, what is PRL? That stands for the People's Republic.
Well, People's Poland Republic.
Okay.
More or less.
The People's Republic of Poland.
Yeah, People's Republic of Poland, but generally
Which it was anything.
communism.
Yeah, it was not a republic. It was communist.
Yeah, it was.
Communists love to call it a republic. It has nothing to do with a republic.
That time, people believed republic means, Yeah. We also believed that time was democracy for us.
Yeah, in a way you thought it was democracy, right?
I mean, at least some people thought this way.
Some people thought that. The people who were in charge thought that way. Because it was a democracy for them. Dachas for all the hotshots.
Yeah.
But it's a fascinating place because when we come here, we can take a trip back to that period which began in 1945, extended till 1989, and then into the 90s because it takes a long time to eradicate or change. Let's say not eradicate. You don't have to get rid of everything, but for things to blend into the modern age, the last 3 decades. It's been 31 years since 1989.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
31 years.
Yeah, so it's been quite a long time, and yet the past is still quite close because we sit here in the square called
Marszałkowska Dzielnica Mieszkaniowa, MDM.
the MDM Square, which was the first place, as we were talking off camera, to be. Well, tell us about it.
This was the first district living area in Warsaw built after Second World War, and it was a proof of success of the communism in Poland, communist government in Poland, because this was unique at that time. It was a beautiful white street, a nice view, nice monumental building. They were built within the idea of social realism, when everything had to be big, huge, to show, to prove that the communism is good.
And then they built the Palace of Culture.
And then they built the Palace of Culture. And
so
the
monuments
streets,
first, in a way.
the streets are quite wide with purpose. To organize some manifestation
The big
of proof.
military parades,
Yeah,
etc.
military, but also people had to walk here. Let's say of the Labor Day on 1st of May, Workers' Day, and that's why they were especially built so huge, so wide, so that many people can go through and thank the communist government at that time.
Yeah, it's amazing. So that's where we're situated right now. Actually, we've done some shooting here before of the architecture in Constitution Square. Oh, and you can hear it. There's a lot of traffic. This is all live, folks. It's live to us anyway, taped to you. But this is a fascinating place because this is a recreation of a cafe from the time.
And this is not just a cafe. This drawing, which you can see over there, they come from the cafe which was called Antyczna, Antique Cafe, which was situated in 50s in Three Crosses Square, not far from here. These tables, this scenography, I would say, is with purpose. We wanted somehow to recreate the atmosphere of this cafe from 50s.
And you've done it, I think, marvelously said.
I hope so.
Down to the point where, if you look at the coffee cup I'm drinking from, this is classic. It's a glass, simple glass, inside of a rather elaborate holder. So it's a combination of very practical and quite elaborate, really. Yeah. And so you just have your coffee like this. It's not actually old coffee, it's new coffee.
No, coffee is new, coffee absolutely is new. But the coffee
You get
maker,
the coffee in a vault.
But the coffee maker is really old because it's over 50 years old. It's from 1968, most probably. We don't have the papers to prove it, but people who 68, 1968. And it turned out that it makes perfect coffee. We got it, in fact, about 3-4 years ago. Someone just called to the company and said, "Do you want a coffee maker?" Yeah, okay, let's bring it. Next day, in front of the museum, which was at that time in a different location, we found this huge coffee maker we didn't know what to do with. So it was put somewhere in the corner of that museum, and after 3 years, when there was decision taken to move here in the Constitution, to the Constitution Square, we thought maybe there is someone who could, refurbish it, make it work. And it turned out that after cleaning, exchanging 2-3 cables, it works. And it makes, I think, good coffee. Italians who come here, they say, it's like in my mother home.
Okay, so, mama.
Like mama.
A coffee mama.
Yeah.
That's very good. You can't beat that. If the Italians like your coffee, you're in good shape. Look, let me stop you right there. Listen, I'm going to continue to drink kava, as they say in Poland, or coffee, as we say in English. I'm going to drink kava just like Mama used to make in her machine from 1968 in another parallel universe, because my mom was in the United States, and this machine was right here in beautiful downtown Warsaw. So cheers. We'll be back with Jacek in the next thrilling episode. You've got to watch these episodes. We're going to go through the museum. We're going to come back, have a little more talking here, and then we're going to go through the museum, and there's a lot of great stuff, like film of the Rolling Stones. We'll talk about the Rolling Stones visit here, which was monumental back in 1968, I believe, or 67. The Jumping Jack Flash himself, Mick Jagger, was here. It was a huge thing. And we're going to see a representation of a flat, the kind of that people used to live in. And we're going to see a lot of different exhibits covering all aspects of this very, very interesting time in Poland, a nostalgic time in a certain sense, but not a time we want to go back to, folks, no matter what some people say. Stay tuned for the next thrilling installment with my pal, Jacek. Okay, see you soon.